Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Mulyadi. I'm from Group 3, and my student number is 120-204-0080. And now I would like to explain about major genre in literature poetry. So the first is I'm gonna talk about poetry. Poetry is one of the oldest genres in literary history, and since it ends in Greek literary time, it is closely related to the term lyric, which is etymologically derived from the Greek musical instrument lyra or harp, and points to the origin in the fields of music in classical time as well as in the Gibbs singer recite poetry, accompanied by harps or other musical instruments. The poem itself is divided into two. The first is narrative poetry. Narrative poetry is reveals a story or description of a poem and covers genres such as long epic poetry. Therefore, this poem is divided into several kinds, namely ballads and romance. The second is poetry lyric, poetry that express that the poet's personal ideas. These types of poetry are elegy, odd, and chorus, and the characteristic of poetry lyric is shorter. The focus of the following commentary mainly relate to one event, impression, or idea. The next material is thematic lexical dimension. Thematical lexical dimension is poetry that tries to see the theme in the real language of the description. Real image and objects often represent symbols, while symbols is a comparison between two different things that use conjunction such as like, than, as, or compare. Pictures and concrete objects can serve as additional symbols. Poets can use conventional symbols that are commonly known or create personal symbols that develop their symbolic function in special contexts. The albatross in Samuel Taylor Coleridge, namely the rhyme of the ancient mariner, for example, is a private symbol. In the course of the poem, the mother bird becomes a symbol of natural order which has been destroyed by man. For the stylistic picture include the rhetorical figures or figures of speech. In poetry, the most common use of similes of metaphor. Similes are two different things connected by like, than, as, or compare, as in Robert Burns. And this we can see the example. A grain of sand in use as a metaphor for the world, a flower for the sky, and so on. In the metaphor and in the simile, two elements are juxtaposed, tenor, like the person, object, or idea, to which the vehicle or image is quite or compare. For example, oh my love is like a red rose. My love function as the tenor, and the red rose as the vehicle. And the next material is visual dimension. The composition are part of an interesting subject called topography. The visuality of the poem is made possible by type. The six constituents of type are shape, size, weight, width, factor, and color. And the first point of visual dimension is shape. The shape of the letters of a certain type family and its times environment will be very different from that of any other. And it's like a helvetica. Type may be monotonal or skeletal. And the second is size. Typographer refer to size as font. A hierarchy of font may be seen in broadsheet. The banner headline is larger than the normal headline, which is larger than the subhead. and which is also larger than the body text. Size is a theoretical measure. It's the color of the clear sky and the deep sea. It is located between violet and green on the optical spectrum. The third is weight. Type may be bold, light, or extra bold, or any shade of gray. Normally, headlines are set in bold type and body text in light type. And the fourth is white. This is a horizontal measure. The lowercase alphabet length of a type family determines the width of a headline, so one can have a headline that is normal, extend, or condensed. And the fifth is faster. A word of praise can be said in a type that is Roman or italics. Italic are normally used for emphasis. And the last is color. Text is normally set in gray, but in multimedia, advertising, and interactive websites, color is what catches the eye. And for the third material is rhythmic acoustic dimension. Rhythmic acoustic dimension is whether acoustic rhythm are pervasive in speech, music, and environmental sounds. The acoustic elements can enhance the meaning of a poem by choosing certain words in a line or stanza. A poet can produce a sound or tone that is directly related to the content of the statement. Device in acoustic dimension of poetry two main device, meter and rhyme of acoustic dimension in poetry that hold a dominant position in analysis of poems that is easy to objectify and measure. So the first is meter. Regular pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables that defines the rhyme of wisdom psalm poetry. A poem can use a single meter throughout, or it can have different meters in different place. Meter can be analyzed of the level of whole poem, a stanza, line, or even single foot. Smallest element of matter are syllables, that are the unit of sound that construct words which provide a basic framework for poetry. Syllables can either be stressed or unstressed. The technical term for the process of analysis of matter is known scansion. In literature, it means to divide the poetry of poetic form into feet by pointing out different syllables based on their length and is also known as scanning. The example, the woods are lovely, dark, and deep. According to the sequence or stress and unstress, line can be divided into a basic unit of measurement of essential syllabic matter. Feet usually feet contain one stress and at least one stress. Unstressed syllabic. For important feet are lembus or iambic, the second anaphase or anapstic, the third is trochee or trochaic, the fourth is dactyl or dactylic, and that's all according to the number of feet. It is possible to distinguish monometer, diameter, trimeter, tetrameter, pentameter, and hexameter. So that's all what I can explain about the major genre in literature, poetry. I would like to apologize if there are many mistakes when I deliver the material. And the last essay is Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.